There's been some talk recently of, or for a while, that it seems to become the new term for McDojo when people use sports karate, that phrase, those two words, usually disparagingly, to kind of describe the decline, as it were, of real karate, if you put it that way. Yeah, where people aren't training properly, basically, or they're not doing the necessary work to become competent karateka, as you might say. It's a slightly pretentious way of putting it, but once you train for a while, you realise that hopefully you realise pretty quickly you're not becoming the next Bruce Lee or something, and it's a long and at times arduous journey and so forth. But sports karate, I've been in dojos where it's very sports karate orientated. It's not a McDojo. The McDojo is total. There'll be 8-year-old black belts and they teach you the deft touch, and it costs you loads of money and you've got to wear all the branded kit and so forth. But I think in this day and age, I mean, a lot of the time you couldn't train as they used to train, say back in the 70s, for example. Many dojos would be shut down now, for health and safety reasons. But so it's not a McDojo, but sports karate. You get a lot of black belts, and I've seen this firsthand a number of times. But they've never done the makiwara, the punching posts, and they don't do breaking. And that, in my humble opinion, is, if you can't do breaking, you shouldn't have a black belt, or you shouldn't have a brown belt. I'm a brown belt in a sort of offshoot of Kyokushin, but I was never required to do break for that. Just went along, and I learned the kata. I've said before, I don't have that much time for kata. I've been told I'm wrong by some very skilled karateka that I definitely look up to, so what do I know? But personally, I can't lie, I've never seen the point in it much, and I've never got a clear explanation for what it's about. So, it contains secret codes. You get all sort of mumbo jumbo stuff. Whenever a clear reason can't be given for anything, alarm bells start ringing personally. But that's just me, like I say. But other people way above me that I totally respect say it's like essential, and they say you're not doing karate unless you're doing kata, which is a pretty good point to make. Otherwise, why not just go off and do kickboxing or something? And with reference to kickboxing, there's certain schools of martial arts, I think, where they can't really water it down too much, like kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, judo. These where it's still pretty much generally authentic. I mean, to get a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, it's 10 years. I've got a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, but I never did anything like the training essential for say Brazilian jiu-jitsu at a lot of schools. So I know that's still completely legit. But as opposed to sports karate, yeah, it will be a lot of kata. If they're sparring, be fully padded up and a lot of rules and so forth. But I do have some sympathy for teachers that are running so-called sports karate, because they might be, in my own experience again, I went to a place tonight and there's a great dojo, but it's a high street dojo, and the guy had to pay the bills. The teacher was completely hardcore. He trained in Japan in the 70s, done a 50-man kumite, that's 50 consecutive fights one after the other, did major breaking. He did a breaking video which was broadcast in English cinemas before Rocky, the first Rocky, whenever that was, 79 or whatever. So very, very legit, but they've got to pay the bills, and if they try to implement the sort of training that they've done, as I say, they just lose students straight off the bat, because no one's going to, or not no one, but few people will commit to hard, strenuous training very often. A lot of people just want to go and have a bit of a sweat for 2 nights a week for an hour or so. And so people will use it as a keep fit class, to use it to socialise and so forth. And these are all great things, I'm not knocking it, but if you're doing sports karate, you will not. And I say, if you can't break, I don't get it, and you shouldn't have a downgrade. Certainly not have a downgrade. And like I say, I just beat myself a brown belt even. It's essential to know that you've got power and skill in your strikes. If you can't demonstrate that, then you shouldn't have that belt, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, so I wouldn't mix sports karate up with McDojos. They are completely different. And if people just want to go and not chill out, but if you want to go and just get them out of the house and have a bit of a sweat on them, it's just and deal with stress or whatever that way. I mean, brilliant, fantastic. It's much better than going to the pub or whatever. But that is still sports karate. Be doing a lot of kata, a lot of stretching. It may just be almost like a glorified keep fit class, really. That's sports karate as far as I can see it, and it's very far apart from real karate of whatever school, Shotokan or Goju Ryu. You still see authentic classes like I follow Judd Reed on like Facebook, the famous Australian karate guy, did 100-man kumite when he was 40. He's had both hips replaced and all this sort of thing. Soon after that, I mean, that's pushing it to the limit, obviously, and he's very famous and world champion and everything. But you see the way he trains his students, that's Kyokushin karate. That is totally, or obviously, I don't have to say it, but it's legitimate, real karate, as it were, and that will give anyone an idea. And then they'll go to most high street dojos, and as they may not be a McDojo at all. I mean, anyone starts talking about chi balls and all that deft touch and stuff, get out of it quick as far as I'm concerned. But if you're turning up and doing kata and they're just doing some light sparring, and you get up to, and that gets you up to black belt in 3 years, going a couple of nights a week, then that's kind of sports karate, really, and it's very different from real karate of whatever branch, as far as I'm concerned.